Hello, Skid Marks Nation. I have no idea how good the audio on this is going to be because I have my AirPods in and I've never recorded them before, but right now I thought I'd do a voiceover of a time lapse for a recent design I did. The basic idea was I wanted to practice iridescence, which you'll see me pull up the reference I use for that later, on black or glossy black animals, and also practicing jaguar and modeled animal patterns and textures, and specifically turning patterns, because that's something I want to incorporate in a lot of my designs in the future, especially for the project I'm working on right now. Right now, I'm just laying out the basic shadows, and I noticed that with iridescence, it tends to catch light the most on the edges of forms, and then also reflects whatever the ambient light color is. So, for example, if the sky is blue, that's probably what it's going to reflect, especially because black is pretty reflective. Like, whenever you do dark skin, you want to focus on reflections and stuff like that. But yeah, right now I'm having beef with that front arm. Yep, there it is. I just erased it and redrew it because I wanted to make sure the silhouette was clear, especially because of how dark the design was. I reworked the sketch a few times because I wasn't happy with it. Um, what else is going on? I don't know, I've never done one of these before. I was really having a hard time figuring out how I wanted to do the rosettes because I don't usually do complex patterns because I'm lazy. And if I'm going to draw a character 1,000 times, I don't usually want to do that. But I've gotten better at it in recent years because I like the way those naturalistic patterns work more, and they also work better for my story because of how realistic they were or are. I pulled up each of these references for a specific purpose. So the jaguars are obviously for the patterns, and then the fish and the horse are for iridescence references. And right now I'm just tying down values and making sure my forms are clear. At least I think I am. The viewfinder is very small in the software that I'm using to record this voiceover because I'm on my iPad. Yeah, usually I'm not very patient when it comes to rendering. I did this, I want to say, over 4 days in the middle of eating shit on several exams and things like that. So I had a lot of other things on my mind, but I'm really happy I got it done. I don't really expect this one to sell well because, at least in the online Dragon Adoptable community, especially on DeviantArt and Toy House, which is like even more niche, designs that typically sell well are more punchy and character focused, and this is definitely more along the lines of concept art for a realistic creature. That being said, this design still is up for sale. I'll probably put it in the link in the description. I don't expect anybody to buy on it. Minimum USD only offer is 75 just because I put a bunch of time into it. But honestly, at this point, I'll take anything. Another thing I found that really helped me was the airbrush lasso tool combo. If you know, you know. That thing is just a match made in heaven, truly, especially on the hip with the muscles and the soft and hard edges. In terms of scale pattern on the shoulder and on the tail, you'll see here that there's a stripe pattern occurring. That's because I have this smear tool that I got in like a random brush pack, and it ended up working really well in creating these scale textures that I also tried to mimic, which is what you saw me do earlier on the shoulder when I was playing around with that. Right now I'm drawing out the forms of the back foot because I was having a hard ass time rendering that thing, man. I just could not for the life of me figure out how I wanted to do it, especially when the hand looks so good, so I drew the 3D forms and planes to try and figure it out. And right now I'm just tying down the jaguar patterns and doing the magnification of the turning patterns, and then adding rim light to finish off the piece.